Sadhana, welcome back. Hypersleep, Rest Recovery 2026, the start of week 2, day 8. My body, my mind is already starting to crave this time in consciousness. I do sadhana at other times, specific times of the day, and it really helps us to, for a while, I'll mention this too. A sadhana is a daily spiritual practice, a daily yogic practice, where it's a retreat into the self. And in the beginning of our self-study, our spiritual path, or the beginning formulation of a sadhana, we stick to the same time, same practice even, for like 40 days in a row, or 90 days in a row, or 120 days in a row, or 1,000 days in a row. And there's different there's different marks in consciousness and state shifts that'll happen over those times. And I have found it to be, I've done a few 40, I've done a few 90, I've done a few 120, I've done like 250 days in a row of the same practice. The 1,000 days is really tough because, I mean, it's tough because as you are doing the practice, it starts to unfold in different ways in your waking life, in your sleeping life, in all of life, and it starts to open you to new opportunities, new pathways, and yeah, the 1,000-day sadhana will rise, and we'll get it again. How do you keep track of so many days in a row? With a calendar, or what I do is when I start a sadhana, I put in my calendar, I put a 40-day mark, so I count out 40 days from that day, and then put a reminder in my calendar for 40 days from now. So then I don't really have to think about it, and I just if I'm committing to the same practice every day, wake up, do that practice in the morning, and take it out of your mind. And sometimes that's, we in a world that there's so much going on, and we're conditioned into novelty. We're conditioned into doing a new thing because it's a new thing, regardless of if it actually works. And when you go through these ebbs and flows when you take on a sadhana of a particular practice. Some days you'll be getting a lot of energy from it. You'll be really amplified, and you'll be this is awesome. I feel really good. I feel confident because I'm doing this every day. And then some weeks you'll just be oh my God, this again? I got to do this again? And those are the most important times to just say, okay, I'm going through, it's an evolution period, because normally right before a breakthrough, your mind's going to be fuck this. Let's do something else. And it's because the mind anticipates an actual transformation. And the mind doesn't like change. The mind knows that, enough changes happen, and then the final change, yes, I'm sorry. And so the final change is death, and the mind is constantly trying to avoid death. And that means even in its own cravings and its own way of being and these kind of things, it's the ego itself will start to trick you out of your practice. And inside of this cyclical experience that we're going through, our past behaviors condition a lot of what we experience now in the present, and what we will continue to experience until we change those patterns and we break those loops or samskaras. And so a samskara is a repetitive action. And the repetitive action makes a trench in your brain. It makes a pathway in your brain. It's sending energy through certain neural networking in your brain. It's like sending electricity through a circuit over and over and over and over and over again. And then as soon as the brain has energy, or the body has energy, the energy is going to want to go in that circuit. that has been going and going and going and going. And so as we get older, we get more, I say, as we get older, it gets more important for us to break these circuits of conditioning down, because then we can create neuroplasticity, which is the novelty that our soul is looking for. Is it's not the same like, oh, like I'm going to get to this point and then go find something new that is thrilling or this or that. It's actually transforming our brain through sadhana. And so when we start to do a consistent spiritual practice at the same time every day and the same practice every day, what we're doing is we're building like a positive samskara. And in the end, when I say end, I mean when we discard this body and we go on into our next life, our next experience, whatever it may be, we have to even let go of the positive samskaras. But how we erase we can't get rid of memory, but what we can do is start flooding the pathways in our brains in different ways so that we have new experiences, and those new experiences don't lead to the same stress, the same overwhelm, the same burnout, because we're conditioned in our society that like more productivity in this one area is going to make it work. But some things are just not meant for us. And it's up to us to realize that. And that's what sadhana can really help with, is when we get into those places where it's like, oh, this again, then we really get to look at ourselves. We get to look at how we're treating life and how we're working with our body, our energy, and our mind, so that we can start to break down those walls of the same, like, and build new brain circuits and stuff. So it's a whole, yoga is a science. It's a science of the self. It's a science of the spirit, body, mind, energy, all of it. I wasn't really going to get into a lecture tonight, but I guess there we are. So tonight, I want to keep it pretty light. We're here, and we're going to be doing a new thing most nights, and then some nights throughout the month, we're going to be building on things that we have done. And not in a crazy way, not in a super advanced way, but just like we might do a different kind of stroke breath. We might do a different variation of Nadi Shodhana, or we might do a different mantra. And so tonight, I want to use the power of mantra to help us tune in. And because it's one of the most powerful ways, chanting, if you've never chanted before, there's in a lot of traditions, chanting is commonly, and in yoga, japa, repetition of mantra, is one of the easiest ways to rewire our brain and to get us out of our cyclical thinking and cyclical thought, emotion, reaction pattern that we get in. And so we're going to do... My dog is going crazy right now. I think he thinks I'm talking to someone that he doesn't know. He came in the house. It's okay, Aries. I'm talking to people online. So we're going to talk about the Adi Mantra. And traditionally in Kundalini Yoga, the Adi Mantra is chanted 3 times before any practice. And before any Kundalini practice. And it's a way to get the mind to recognize that we're going into an evolutionary practice, we're going into an evolutionary activity, and that it's different. So it kind of breaks the code up that we've been working with earlier in the day, and then it sets the tone for opening our consciousness, for calling upon the creative consciousness and the intuition within ourselves, and say, hey, I'm setting a new stage for right now. We're going to go into a practice, and I need you to pay attention, mind. And the Adi Mantra is perfect for that. I say we chant it before Sunday's practice on the chill train every week, and in most, if not all, Kundalini practices, especially from the KRI tradition, Kundalini Research Institute tradition, we say that every time to tune in. And it's part of the prescription. It's part of how we open our consciousness, like I said. And then from that open state, we take in the new code of the practice or whatever mantra to follow. And then we close out with another mantra, Satnam. And we've done that before. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to work with these two mantras. We're going to work with the Adi mantra, Ang Namo Guru Dev Namo. And I'll explain it here in just a minute. Ang Namo Guru Dev Namo. And then we'll work with Satnam. And we're going to chant Ang Namo Guru Dev Namo a little bit. And then we'll chant Satnam a little bit. Maybe like 5 minutes of Satnam. And definitely like a few rounds so you can get the internal tone resonating. So let's go in with the Adi mantra. Ang Namo Guru Dev Namo. Namo in Sanskrit means I call upon or I bow to. It's a sign of reverence. It's a sign of recognition, and not like a bow to in worshiping. It's like a bow to in like gratitude, a bow to of understanding the great power within. And Ang Namo. Ang is creator and creation as one. And so as creatives, we have creative energy flowing through us of source, the source creator, right? Flowing through us, that which created us is getting us to move into creation ourselves, and we are creation creating. And so there's this like flow through of creative energy from the source of creativity itself and then into creation. And that's what Ang means. It means all of it. It means creator and creation as one. It means creative source and creative actualization, output as one. And so we're calling on this this super powerful source of creativity and all of creation around us, saying, hey, I recognize the potency of what's happening here, and I'm tuning into that. And then Guru Dev Namo. Guru is not a person. Guru is how we say it in the Western world, but Guru is not a person. Guru is the teacher of all teachers, but it's not a physical teacher. It's not a dude up on a stage or a lady on a pedestal, I guess you would say. It's not this thing that we necessarily look up to. It's this thing that we are, and it's the Guru is that which moves us from darkness to light. So it's the force of movement from unconsciousness to consciousness, from unknowing to knowing, from darkness to light. And so it's like Guru to me is like the recognition of that aha moment, the recognition of, wow, I was in the dark and now I can see, right? I was blind and now I can see. And Guru Dev is the holy. Dev is holy. It's a syllable for holy, for godly. And so the godly teacher, but this teacher is within us. Guru Dev is the teacher within. And then Namo, again, I bow to, I call upon, showing reverence to. So Ang Namo, Ang O-N-G, Ang. And if you do that right now, Ang, you can feel the roof of your mouth vibrate. Because like I said, yoga is a science. And a science is having to do with all the layers of being. The physiological structure of the body is a big part of mantra because of how the vibration resonates the different parts. And the syllables in Sanskrit are different ways to get different vibrations to go up into the brain and vibrate the cerebral spinal fluid, changing the frequency of the cerebral spinal fluid. And so then it actually starts to like change the frequency of the grosser matter, because the cerebral spinal fluid is liquid, right? We take a breath in, We vibrate, ong, and you can feel the vibrating in the soft palate of the mouth right up into the center of the brain where the pituitary and the pineal gland are very close together. And so what it's doing is it's shifting our consciousness. It's shifting our consciousness at the same time. So it's a physiological response, and it's an emotional and a mental and a spiritual response because we know the power and the meaning of it too. If I wasn't to explain it and you were just to sit there and go, you would feel different after a couple of minutes, right? Even without knowing the meaning. And that's why I'm devoted to this path too, is because it's a path of direct experience, practical science of direct experience. No yogi anywhere would ever share anything that they hadn't done themselves. And that's like, the yogis of old didn't have TV, they didn't have technology, they didn't have cigarettes or video games or chemical food or novelty of going to do a new thing every day. So they dedicated themselves to the science of the human experience and the science of the body, the mind, the energy, and the soul. And they took it upon themselves to use their own body and their own life as this foundational, as a foundation for experiment, right? And so the tantrics would spend thousands of days like in a row doing one practice and really like mastering this practice and in an embodied way. So it changes their consciousness, changes the physiological structure. And so it's got to be felt to do it. So Satnam, truth, identity, Satnam, Ang Namo Guru Dev Namo, and then Satnam. And Sat is, I'll break it down. Satnam has multiple syllables in it. Sa, ta, na, ma. And we'll get to that mantra later in the month too. Sa, ta, na, ma. Sa is infinity. Ta is life. Na is death. Ma is rebirth. And so there's this infinite cycle. From infinity we come, we're born, we get a body, we live, we die, we move on, and then our consciousness is reborn. And our consciousness, I mean this Ong, this and this extension of us that is immortal and never dies. It continues to go, it continues to have new births. And so this infinite cycle, Sa Ta Na Ma, is our truth. It's the truth that has always been true, will always be true. It's true now, it's true then, it's true forever. And infinity, life, death, rebirth. Sat Nam. That is our identity. This truth of we are the infinite cycle is our identity, our authentic identity. Ban hammer for you, sir. All right, let's chant. You know, that was a good amount of talking. So today, I guess there was talking. And chanting, the power of sound, right? So hopefully that was interesting and it opened up a little bit of your consciousness. And now let's experience what it means to chant these sacred sounds and these sacred syllables. So we'll tune in like we do. We'll do like 3 chants, Ang Namo, Guru Dev Namo, and I'll type it in the chat so you know. Guru Dev Namo. I appreciate you. I'm lit up. This has been getting me really, really stoked. This is what I love to do. I love to talk about consciousness, and I love to help people experience what it is to be alive and human. There's the greatest gift that we have is that we've been given a body and the ability to use this body as technology itself, internal technology. So we're going to chant that 3 times, and then we're going to go into, we'll go into 5 minutes of Satnams. Satnam can get very powerful also when you take it along. And there's a reason that I don't start with Om. There's a reason that we don't start with Om. I'll tell you that reason after. So let's settle in. Find your comfortable seat and do your best to hold a straight spine. Chanting is definitely best done in a seated upright position. And if you must lay down, then you can do that. It's advised to sit up with a straight spine, open across the chest, so you can take full breaths and you can feel this energy resonate, and also the energy flows up and down the spine freely. And just taking a moment to drop in to the self. The mind, the body, the energy starting to recognize this time as something special. And we'll take a deep inhale and a full exhale. And we'll rub the palms together, feeling the energy between the hands. Bring the hands to the heart so that the thumbs rest right there in the nook of the sternum. You can press the palms together just gently. So you can help, like you press the palms together and then lifting the chest into the hands. You'll see how that kind of helps to straighten the spine. Chin pulled back just a little bit. And we'll go in, we'll chant Ang Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times. And then we'll move right into chanting Satnams, long syllable Sat, short Nam. As you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Deep inhale. Gentle pause at the top with the breath held in. And then exhale. And you can release the hands down. If you want, you can keep the hands in prayer pose the whole time. We'll go in for 5 minutes of chanting, and we'll sit for just a few moments. Long syllable Sat, short Nam. If you put the hands on the knees, palms up, go with Gyan Mudra, first finger and thumbs together. We'll get into mudras later in the month too. And let's begin. Deep inhale. Sa. Nam. 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 And last one. Nam. And take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath. Engage Mulaband if you know how, lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor. Low belly in, lifting the energy up. Focus in the center of the brain. And exhale. And just tune in. Feel the reverberance of the mantra. If you can notice any subtle or maybe not so subtle shift in your state, in your energetic state. Calling upon the deepest, most authentic truth. The way that consciousness and creativity wants and desires, deeply desires to move through us in this authentic way. In our own very unique way. We are each crystals, and when we are in tune with higher consciousness, higher creativity, we have a particular vibration and vision, and this is our truth. Collectively, we co-create reality as our own authentic selves, vibrating at the highest rate possible. So the more often we can tune into that for ourselves, miracles happen. Miracles happen around us and through us. We'll take a deep inhale and a full exhale. And then we'll close with one more long Sat Nam, rubbing the palms together, bringing the hands to the heart, and just calling upon that truth to stay with us, keep guiding us into more bliss, more peace, more happiness, more abundance. One more long Satnam deep inhale. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight for night 8. I hope you're feeling good. I'm gonna go chant for like an hour now. When I talk about truth, yeah, me too. My skull is nice and vibrated. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. When I talk about truth, this isn't truth of like Wikipedia, like, or trying to find, like a factual, informational truth. This is the feeling and embodiment of truth. And we each have our own individual truths that the truth of the greater being can help us to find and help us to tune to. And that's what these practices are for. There was a long, yes, truth beyond facts. Thank you, Reg. Truth beyond facts. This is the, I need to shed more than one tear. I feel like it's a good practice. This is the feeling of truth. And when you can embody the feeling of truth, then you won't need anyone else to tell you what's true, even through facts or anything else. You'll be able to sense the truth in the information. You'll be able to sense the truth or the untruth in the words that people speak. You'll be able to tune to this psychic vibration of truth, of the essence of what is true. And I thought for a really long time that, and by a really long time, I mean like probably like a decade at least, that yoga would change me. I'm laughing because it makes you more of who you are. And I've seen people try to bypass their true selves with yoga, and it doesn't work. Yoga is at the very base, it is meant to expose you to yourself in all of the ways that you don't want to see, in all of the ways that you need to see. And then once all of that is stripped away, it shows you the essential self that you are, that you're meant to be. And so this isn't about you believing my truth. This isn't you about believing another teacher's truth or an opinion that someone has labeled with truth because it works for them specifically with their consciousness, their body type, wherever they may be. This is the truth of the teacher within you. And that is what I'm here to help resonate and amplify and help everybody to get to that place of finding that guru dev, that holy teacher within. The one that knows immediately, yes, this is aligned for me, or no, this is not aligned for me. And the secret to that is we're always saying yes, but it's to that essential self. We say yes to our yes, and we say yes to our no. We say yes, 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 but we have to find that authentic vibration of truth before we can truly know what to say yes and what to say no to. And that's what these practices have helped me with. That's what they've helped thousands, if not millions of people throughout the aeons of human consciousness. These practices and teachings haven't changed, even though we change, even though our external technology changes, even though our lives they've dramatically changed. And from living as early humans in caves to now living in caves that we call homes that disconnect us from nature, but it still is all nature. It's just the evolution. And that's what I mean when I say sat. That is the truth that has always been true and continues to be true and will always be true. And we are who we are. We are we. We are we. That's good. Mic drop. All right. I love you all. I hope you come back. Please come back to day 9 tomorrow. Check out the other days on my YouTube. They're going up every night. And and reach out to me if you need anything, or if you want to practice, if you want to go a little bit deeper, if you have any questions, or if you want to chant. Like, I'm always down. So yeah, I'm a human, I got things going on, but nothing is more important than resonating with that truth. And as we can resonate with it together in this virtual space, we amplify, right? We're all little circuits in the larger grid right now, amplifying that truth. And so the more of us that we can get to do it, and the more that this isn't to bring your friends, but the more that we can resonate with that, the more we uplift all of those around us. We don't even have to ask. People will start to tune in. They'll start to know. They'll start to sense it. So, Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Take care of yourselves. Nourish yourselves. And I will see you tomorrow. Love ya.